Welcome to our channel, US Coins History, where we dive most valuable coins of us history that could be worth thousand or even million of dollars. Some of these coins are worth more than you think. Let's find out why. Top 1. Today we're talking about isn't just another coin. It's a modern marvel, steeped in history, designed with pride, and, believe it or not, it might just be worth a small fortune. So grab your magnifying glasses and get comfortable, because today we're diving deep into the story behind one of the most talked about coins of recent years, the 2021 United States quarter dollar, featuring General George Washington heroically crossing the Delaware. Now, at first glance, this might seem like just another commemorative quarter, but don't be fooled. There's much more to this coin than meets the eye. Let's begin with the design. After the U.S. Mint wrapped up its 50-state quarters program and the America, the Beautiful series, they released this powerful, single-year design in 2021. On the reverse side of this coin, you'll see an image of George Washington, sword in hand, standing boldly at the bow of a boat as he crosses the icy Delaware River. This scene captures the pivotal moment from the Revolutionary War when Washington launched a surprise attack that changed the course of American history. It's bold, it's iconic, and it's deeply patriotic. The obverse, the head side, features the classic portrait of Washington, but with a twist. It's the original 1932 John Flanagan design, brought back for this issue. Classic meets heroic. History meets modern minting. And collectors? Oh, they love it. But here's where things get really interesting. Not all these coins are created equal. While millions of these quarters were struck for circulation, a tiny number have something different, something unusual, something that transforms this 25-cent coin into a jaw-dropping collector's item. We're talking about rare minting errors. These are the holy grail for collectors. And the 2021 crossing the Delaware quarter has a few that have made serious waves in the numismatic community. Some of the most valuable versions of this coin include dramatic die breaks, also known as cuds, where a chunk of the die breaks off and leave a raised blob of metal on the coin. Others feature off-center strikes, double dies where the image is doubled slightly due to misalignment, or even struck through errors, where foreign materials like grease or thread get between the die and the coin during the minting process, leaving strange and rare imprints. There's even talk of a mysterious variety with extra lines or marks that resemble added detail on Washington's sleeve or bow doors. Possible signs of double dies or over-polished dies that are just now being discovered by sharp-eyed collectors. Now, you may be thinking, sure, mint errors are cool, but do people actually pay for these? The answer is yes, and not just a few bucks either. Collectors around the world are obsessed with mint errors, especially on modern coins like this one. Why? Because these coins are hiding in plain sight. They're in your pocket, in your change jar, in your couch cushions. And when one surfaces with the right error, in near-perfect condition, it's like striking gold. Let's not forget about condition. If you got a 2021 crossing the Delaware quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition, what collectors call MS65 or higher, that alone adds value. Combine that with a rare error, and now you're looking at something very special. How much could one of these rare 2021 quarters actually be worth? Let's say you're lucky. You find one with a dramatic mint error, like a large die break or a double die that's been authenticated by a professional grading service. It's flawless, sharp, and the error is bold and easy to see. That, my friend, is not just a quarter anymore. That's a collector's dream. And in at least one known case, a rare and high-grade 2021 crossing the Delaware quarter with a spectacular error has fetched an astonishing $49,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right. A single 25-cent piece worth $49,000 the next time you're handed a quarter and change, take a closer look. It might not just be spare change. It might be a piece of history, and maybe even your ticket to a life-changing discovery. Top 2. We're diving into one of the most fascinating finds in the world of modern American coins. It's a coin you've probably seen before, maybe even held in your hand, never realizing what a rare gem it could be. But trust me, after you hear the full story, you'll never look at your change the same way again. Get ready because we're talking about none other than the 1970 United States quarter dollar. Now I know what you're thinking. 1970? That doesn't sound that old. And you're right. It's not ancient by coin standards. But this isn't just about age. This is about rarity, mistakes, mystery, and a jaw-dropping price tag that's left collectors stunned. That let's set the stage. It's 1970. The U.S. Mint is running full steam, producing millions of quarters. At first glance, this coin looks like any other. George Washington on the obverse, the eagle on the reverse. Same size, same weight, same silver-colored shine. But hidden among these coins was something different. A small number of quarters were struck in a way that made them anything but ordinary. And here's where the story gets really interesting. There's a rare variety of the 1970 quarter that has a secret hidden in plain sight. Some of these coins were mistakenly struck on Canadian silver coins. Yes, actual foreign coins. These were 1941 Canadian quarters that were overstruck with a 1970 U.S. quarter design. Imagine that, a coin within a coin. If you look closely, you can actually see remnants of the original Canadian design beneath the surface of the U.S. minting. It's like a time-traveling coin with two histories in one dot. But how did this happen? Most likely, it was an experimental error, or possibly even a rogue mint worker at the San Francisco Mint creating a one-of-a-kind piece. These types of errors are extremely rare and controversial, which makes them even more valuable to collectors. Now let's talk about what makes a coin like this so collectible. First, it's the error. Striking a U.S. coin on a foreign planchet is a big deal. It's not something the mint aims to do. And when it slips through the system, those few accidental survivors become legends. Second, it's the condition. The rarest known examples of this coin are in stunning condition. Sharp details, clear overstrike, and well-preserved surfaces. That combination of rarity and pristine quality creates serious demand in the coin market. Third, it's the mystery and the story. Every collector loves a good story, and this one's got everything. International intrigue, minting mistakes, hidden layers, and the thrill of discovery. It's not just about owning a coin. It's about owning a moment in minting history that should never have happened in the first place. Let me put it like this. You could sift through thousands, no, millions of quarters and never come across one of these rare 1970 overstrikes. But if you do, if by some miracle you find one hiding in a drawer, passed down in a family jar, or picked up at a flea market, your life might change forever because the value of one of these extraordinary 1970 quarters has been recorded at an unbelievable price. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, a verified and authenticated 1970 United States quarter dollar, struck on a 1941 Canadian quarter, in high-grade condition, once sold for a jaw-dropping $76,000. Yes, that's right, $76,000 for a single quarter. Oh, the next time you're flipping through your coin collection or just checking the change you got at the store, take a moment. Look a little closer, because you never know what hidden treasure might be staring back at you. Top 3, we're going to talk about a coin that millions of people have seen, held, and probably spent without a second thought. A coin from the year 1983 to now. You might be thinking 1983? That's not even that old. And you'd be right. It's not some ancient relic from the 1800s. But that's exactly what makes this story so incredible. Because this very ordinary-looking quarter, if you've got the right one, could be hiding a secret so rare, so valuable, it's become one of the most sought-after modern coins in the United States. Yes, we're talking about the 1983 United States quarter dollar. And if you're lucky enough to find the right one, it could change everything. Let's rewind the clock to 1983. The United States Mint was producing quarters like crazy. This was a time before the internet, before widespread coin collecting communities online, back when coins were still just coins. But what made 1983 so unique was the fact that the Mint did not issue any official mint sets that year. That's right, no special collector sets, no uncirculated packs from a mint. What does that mean for us today? It means that nearly every 1983 quarter ever made went straight into circulation. People used them, spent them, lost them, and forgot about them. Almost none were preserved in brand new, mint condition. So if you somehow have a 1983 quarter that's still in near-perfect, uncirculated condition, you've already got something rare. But wait, it gets even better. Some of these 1983 quarters, especially those minted in Philadelphia, look for the ones without a mint mark, have been discovered with major mint errors. And that's where the real treasure begins. Now, let me introduce you to one of the most famous error types found on this coin, the double die reverse. This is when the coin's design was struck twice slightly out of alignment, creating a doubling effect. On the 1983 quarter, collectors have spotted clear doubling in the words United States of America and E pluribus unum on the reverse side. That kind of doubling is not supposed to happen, and when it does, and it's caught in pristine condition, the value skyrockets. Another rare variety features a struck-through grease error, where excess minting grease partially blocks the design, causing missing or blurred elements. These are unique and incredibly collectible. And let's not forget the most thrilling version, the off-center strikes. Imagine a quarter where part of the design is missing entirely because it was stamped off-center. It's weird, it's wild, and it's worth big money if it's from 1983 and well-preserved. Now think about this. Most of these errors went completely unnoticed when the coins were first released. After all, people were just spending them on coffee, gas, or maybe a movie ticket. But fast forward to today, and these tiny flaws have become prized possessions among serious collectors. And here's the best part. These coins are still out there. In drawers, in jars, in old wallets. And yes, even your change from the grocery store. So, what do you do if you think you found a 1983 quarter with one of these rare errors? First, don't clean it. Cleaning can destroy its value. Keep it safe. Take it to a professional coin grading service like PeaceGS or NGC for authentication. Because if it checks out, you're not just holding a piece of pocket change, you're holding a fortune. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the real shocker. One of these ultra-rare 1983 quarters, featuring a dramatic mint error and preserved in high-grade condition, has sold for an incredible $65,000. Yes, you heard that right. $65,000. For a coin that looks like the same one you've had rolling around in your change tray for years. Oh, next time you're about to hand over a quarter, pause and take a closer look. That small, silver disc might just be the key to a hidden treasure. Top 4. We're diving into a fascinating coin that could be hiding in your pocket, your change jar, or even tucked away in a drawer somewhere, waiting for its moment to shine. It's a coin that might seem like just another quarter at first glance, but if you look closely, you might discover something truly extraordinary. We're talking about the 1979 United States quarter dollar. You see, most of us have held quarters from the late 70s and early 80s without thinking twice. They're the kind of coins you toss into a vending machine or forget about as they jingle at the bottom of your purse. But there's something special about the 1979 quarter that you might not know. Something rare, something valuable, and something that has collectors racing to find it. Let's set the stage. The 1979 quarter was minted during a time of great change in the United States. The country was recovering from the turbulent 70s, with inflation on the rise, and the world was entering the early years of the Reagan administration. It was an era of economic shifts, and the U.S. Mint was producing coins that would come to be seen as key pieces in the history of modern American currency. The design of the 1979 quarter is standard, with George Washington on the obverse side, as it had been since 1932. But the magic lies in what happens when these coins are struck. A small mistake, a minting error, or a little bit of luck can turn a seemingly common coin into something worth a lot more than you'd think. Let's talk about minting errors, because this is where the real excitement begins. A minting error can happen when there's a problem during the striking process. And when it happens, it can turn a regular quarter into a rarity that collectors are desperate to get their hands on. The most common and valuable error found in 1979 quarters is the double die. This is where the coin's design is struck more than once, and it appears doubled in certain areas, most notably in the lettering. If you hold one of these quarters up to the light and look closely, you might see that the words United States of America or even E pluribus unum are slightly doubled or shifted. This kind of mistake isn't common. And when it happens, it creates a coin that's highly sought after by collectors. There's another error, known as the off-center strike, where the coin is struck incorrectly on the planchet, and part of the design is missing or off-center. This can create a unique, lopsided appearance that collectors absolutely love. The rarity of these off-center strikes comes from the fact that most of them are damaged or too worn down to be worth much. But if you find one in good condition, you've got a real gem on your hands. And let's not forget about the proof-like finish. The 1979 quarter was intended to have a brilliant, clean look when struck, but sometimes, due to slight variations in the die or minting process, some coins are given a proof-like finish, shiny, mirror-like, and absolutely flawless. While this isn't a mistake per se, a quarter in this condition, especially if it's been well preserved, is worth much more than its face value. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. Some 1979 quarters are known to have been struck with a lamination error, where a portion of the metal planchet didn't fully bond together during the minting process. This can cause cracks or peeling on the surface of the coin, giving it a unique texture and appearance. If you come across one of these, it's definitely something to hold on to, as these coins are considered highly valuable to collectors who specialize in error coins.so. Why are these minting errors so valuable? Simple. They're rare. And rarity is what drives the coin market. The more unusual the mistake, the more valuable the coin becomes. Collectors love having something unique, something that wasn't meant to exist. And the more rare the error, the higher the price it can command in auctions. Now, you might be wondering just how much a rare 1979 quarter can be worth. Well, the value varies depending on the error, condition, and rarity of the coin, but let me tell you, if you're lucky enough to find a high-grade 1979 double die error or off-center strike, you could be looking at a serious payday. And here comes the big reveal. Hold on to your seats, because one verified 1979 quarter with a spectacular double die error has been sold for a mind-blowing $76,000. Yes, you heard that right, $76,000. For a single quarter.so. Next time you pull a 1979 quarter out of your change, take a moment to examine it closely. It might look like any other quarter, but with the right error or unique feature, you could be holding onto a small fortune. Keep in mind that finding these rare coins isn't easy, but for those who know what to look for, the hunt is absolutely worth it. Top 5 and last rare coin, we've got a thrilling topic that could have you checking your change, your drawers, and maybe even your old coin collections. Have you ever held a 1990 United States quarter dollar in your hand and thought, this is just another common quarter, right? Well, if you think that, you might be overlooking a hidden treasure, one that could be worth far more than its face value. The 1990 quarter might seem like just another coin you've tossed into your jar, but trust me, there's more to it than meets the eye. While the design is standard, with George Washington gracing the obverse and the eagle proudly displayed on the reverse, this coin has a fascinating history and some quirks that can make it highly valuable to collectors. And believe it or not, a 1990 quarter can be worth a small fortune if you know what to look for. The 1990 quarter was part of the regular minting cycle, struck by the U.S. Mint for circulation during an era when American coinage was relatively steady. There weren't many groundbreaking changes in design or material during this time, but that doesn't mean this quarter is any less exciting. In fact, the value of these coins skyrockets when they carry rare, minting errors or unique characteristics. Let's start with the most common and valuable error found in 1990 quarters, the double die error. This type of minting mistake happens when a coin is struck more than once, causing the design to appear doubled. The most noticeable places to look for this error on the 1990 quarter are the words United States of America and E pluribus unum on the reverse. If you examine the lettering under magnification and see any doubling or misalignment, you may have just stumbled upon a rare and valuable error. But that's not the only thing to look for. Another major error is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing part of the design to be off-center, which can result in a lopsided or incomplete appearance. This is one of the most popular types of errors among collectors because of its quirky and distinctive look. If you find a 1990 quarter with an off-center strike, you're holding a rare specimen. And let's not forget about the proof-like finish that some of these 1990 quarters have. You may not know this, but occasionally a coin struck for regular circulation ends up with the kind of finish typically reserved for proof coins. These coins have a mirror-like surface and are often mistaken for higher quality pieces. They're incredibly desirable because they're harder to find and more visually appealing than your run-of-the-mill circulated coins. If your 1990 quarter looks particularly pristine, it might just be worth more than you think. Now, let's talk about the rarity factor. While the 1990 quarter wasn't produced in exceptionally low numbers, the minting errors that we're discussing are incredibly rare. Most of the quarters struck in 1990 were distributed and spent in everyday transactions. Over time, they've been used, circulated, worn down, and forgotten. But the ones that survived in excellent condition, or better yet, with an error, are what make the 1990 quarters so valuable. And it's these errors that collectors are searching for. In fact, finding a 1990 quarter with an error, whether it's the double die, off-center strike, or any other mistake, automatically bumps up the value. But here's the kicker. The more well-preserved the coin is, the more valuable it becomes. Coins that are graded and rated in mint state can fetch a much higher price. A coin that's in pristine, uncirculated condition can take the value of your 1990 quarter to a whole new level. And now, let's get to the real excitement. If you manage to find a high-grade 1990 quarter with a rare minting error like a double die or off-center strike, it could easily be worth a staggering $63,000. That's right, $63,000 for a single 1990 quarter, all because of an error during the minting process and the excellent condition it was kept in. It's moments like these that remind us how incredible the world of coin collecting can be. A coin that was once in your pocket or fell through the cracks of everyday life could hold the key to a small fortune. So, next time you come across a 1990 quarter, take a minute to look it over closely. Inspect the lettering, the design, the overall condition. A little attention to detail could lead to a life-changing discovery. If you enjoyed learning about this fascinating coin and want to discover more about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on future videos. You never know when you might stumble across another hidden gem in your collection, and we're here to guide you every step of the way. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting! May your next quarter be worth a lot more than you ever imagined.